Okay, after having done this, we have an order with a specific date with an order status valid, which means that there's no error in this order. It can be provisioned, and the system automatically initiates the workflow engine for order management, creates the respective cases and actions and events for this order, and initiates the next steps that have to be followed. So let's see if there's something to do about this order already. Going to the cases and events window, we will see that there is a plus symbol here, which means that the new case is open in the area of contract cases. So we have a new case which is WISE FMC quad play activation. This is the type of the case that it is open. This is what exactly is the pending issue of the customer. For the customer, it's a WISE FMC quad play activation. And below, on the right side, we see some brief information about this case. It has been opened in this date and time. The status is opened, and we see what exactly has happened. And on the bottom part, we see the events that are relevant to this case and the status of them. So we have only one event. The events are the actual actions of it that have to be done per case. We have only one event at this moment. It's an order confirmation call. It has been created some minutes ago. It is in status open, which means it is pending, and it is the type of this event is user. So a user has to execute it based on the permissions that we have defined. At this time, we have logged in the system as an administrator, so we can do everything, so we can handle this event. This event is normally expected to be handled by either the same user that registers the order automatically after the registration of the order, or by a different user group selecting this action from their pool of pending actions to be done. Let's see how this would be done. If we would close this customer completely and we go to the all tasks area and make some refresh here, because it is populated every 10 minutes, we'll see that there is an order confirmation call for WISE FMC quad play activation for Mr. Bond James. So let's open this again to process it. We go back to the customer, we see some main information, maybe his phone number, so that we can come in contact with him. We go to the history, we see that it's a new contract. We need to confirm that the contract is defined as exactly as he needs it to be. And the event that we are instructed to execute is we need to call the customer and confirm that he wishes to proceed with his order. We need to check that the data in the order are complete and correct. So we start, we call the customer and we expect to fill in the logging area of this event. At this moment, let me clarify. Each event is a specific action to be done, either a systemic or a user action. The name of the action is placed here, order confirmation call. The instruction, what to do, is defined here. And in the bottom level, we have the different fields that are specific to this action that have been configured for us to fill in. Of course, fields in bold, labeled with bold letters, are mandatory, while the rest are optional. And of course, we can have additional validations here based on rules that could define more complex cases of validations. So let's review his contract and see if it is correct. So we check the attributes, everything, and also the customer information, and check if everything is correct. If it's not, we can change it. If it's fine, we can respond to this action, saying that the customer response is that a correction is needed. For example, he selected 8 Mbps video streaming, because he wants high quality. After pressing this green button, we inform the system that we have done this action, the confirmation call, and depending on the workflow rules that have been defined in the system will prompt us for the next step. At this step, we check the instructions. If the order has been corrected, close the event. After having set order refused, fill value to false. If the order must be refused, set the order refused value to true. Okay, so in this case we don't have a refusal case. This is used when, for example, we don't only have a correction, but we have a clear objection by the customer for the proceeding of the order. So we will say that the order has been fixed. Let's make the change that we said that needs to be done. So it's 8 megabps of video streaming, and having done this, we will close this as completed. So next step that the system prompts us to do is the customer creditability check. At this time we can see the history of this case. It started with an order confirmation call that has been closed successfully, and we have some information about what we have done, we have put here, and we can view it in more detail. Then we have a correction, that there was no refusal, and now we are in a customer creditability check. Typically this systemic interaction, placing, for example, a web service to a third-party credit rating system that provides us some feedback. It could be, for example, high creditability, medium, low. For high, we could say that we immediately proceed with the provisioning. For medium, we could say that we will ask the customer for some deposit, or we will ask for a second approval or from our credit department. And for medium, we could also say that we don't proceed with the order. We blacklist it, and the customer, and we reject the order. In our example here, we don't have a credit rating system available, so we have simulated this step as a user event, as an action that has to be responded by a yes or no from a credit rater. So the credit rater will again open his all tasks form. He will see that he has to do some credit rating work. Here it is, and he will open it, and this will directly take him to the action that he has to do, check the customer's creditability, and he will respond that this customer is fine, we can proceed with the order without any fear. Closing this event, we have finished with the different steps that were available for user management in this use case, in this demo scenario, and the system notifies us that the next event is system. So we're not supposed to do anything. We don't have to work more on this order, on this customer. We can go to our next steps of the job. System events are a model in a similar way as the user events do, things that are done internally. For example, in this WISE FMC quad play activation here, we have a system event that has started service activation, and it has already been closed, which means that it has started one sub workflow for each element of our order, for each service that is included in this order, and it waits for all the activations to be completed for the whole order to be completed. And each of these sub cases have their own things that have been workflows that have started. For example, here we have an ISO SIM card activation that will interact with the BSCS, ask for a new ISO SIM card number and ID, and close as soon as it has finished. This has already been done, and we have got the feedback that we needed. And similarly, we will need a fixed line telephony CLI. This has already been done, and we will need some GSM MSISDN. This has also completed. It has, and after all this, the whole case has been completed. So if we go to the all cases, we can see it, but it is now closed successfully, and the whole workflow for the interaction for this order and customer to the BSCS has been completed. This has made our order now completed instead of valid that it was in the past, and we see more information populated. For example, in the GSM telephony, now we have a specific MSISDN that has been delivered from the BSCS and a directory ID number. We have a specific CLI and a CLI directory ID. We have a specific SIM card number and a SIM card ID. And in this way, the system now is populated with some information that was missing and was expected to be delivered at provisioning time.